Hi, and good evening, everyone. I see we have already 40 people joining. We're just a little bit before 7 p.m. according to my clock here. And thank you very much for tuning in this evening to watch. I encourage everybody, please do write in now in the chat and give us a quick message to say where you're from. We have people coming in from many countries this evening. So if you'd like to just write where you're connecting from and maybe share something about what you do, if you're a coach, a therapist, a trainer, etc., the type of people you may be helping. We'll give it a few more moments yet before we start moving in this evening. We have a number of people going to join and share on the masterclass tonight about their experience of using goal mapping and how they find it. Really nice to see people, Reykjavik, so Iceland, Devizes, Wiltshire, South Wales, Trondheim in Norway, love Trondheim. Okay, super. People coming in from the Netherlands, Finland, England, of course, but many countries. As is the case with goal mapping, it's really reached so many people around the world and helped so many different people in different ways. So we have now 49, 50, it's going up moment by moment as I count. Please do share where you're coming from, what type of work you do, and of course, how you're feeling at the moment, how things are for you. Just a quick hi, we'll give it a few more minutes for people to connect this evening. A few people still looking for the link, those that have seen it on LinkedIn but haven't registered. Hello, Margot. Looking forward to hearing you speak later about your experiences of coaching goal mapping.
Thank you.
I see Stefan's also connected with us. And I see Marjorie's there. And Vicky, I know that we're also be joined later by Nikki. So, because we're now a few minutes after 7, I think I make it 2 minutes past 7. We won't delay for those people that are here on time. I'm going to show a short presentation. I looked earlier at the people registering for tonight's masterclass, and it's amazing how many new people. We've got someone just joining from St. Lucia. Really nice to see that we're reaching further afield. It's always amazing to see how many people new to goal mapping coming in. So I'll share a little of the history of goal mapping, some of my own journey about how I come into goal mapping, and then we'll move into some of the content around using goal mapping in a professional basis. If you are a coach, a trainer, a therapist, school teacher, business leader, then really tonight is for you. Or maybe you are going through a life change, a career change, and you're aspiring to be a therapist, a coach, a business leader, or someone helping others generally in personal development and success with achieving goals. And then again, tonight will be of great benefit to you. And there are a lot of different things that you can gain from this evening in the way of information and support to help you, to help yourself, and of course, help others in achieving their goals. And if you do not already have it, please get a pad of paper and a pen so you can make some notes. And for those of you that are new to goal mapping, I wholeheartedly recommend that you access the free online software. And there may be people here this evening watching that know goal mapping, that haven't been connected for a few years. I've seen a lot of people recently that saw goal mapping many years ago, but only now reconnecting with it. And if you've seen goal mapping in the past, then maybe you did your goal map on paper with colouring pens, as so many millions of people have over more than 20 years. But here tonight, the coach program that we're going to explore, I really recommend that you create your goal map in a digital format and you guide your clients to do the same, because the coaching process we're going to explore really isn't possible on paper with coloured pens in the same way as it is digital and on a computer. So I'm going to share my screen. Please do continue to write where you're tuning in from and what type of work you're involved in, if you're a coach, trainer, therapist, etc., people you're looking to help. And I know that in addition to those coaches tuning in tonight, and you can see Marjorie and Margot and Stefan, Vicky on the screen here, and we'll be joined later as well by Nikki Wild. There are other goal mapping coaches, and if you, any of you would like to answer any of the questions that people will be posting tonight, then you'll be doing a great service for everyone. And in addition, if there are a couple more people that want to speak or comment about their experience of using goal mapping and coaching others, and you haven't yet told me, then please do message. Vicky will be looking out for your chat. She's in support tonight, and I'll make sure we include as many people as we can. Let me go to the screen share and bring up the PowerPoint presentation. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Brian Main, and I've been teaching this very simple system for success that works so amazingly well for 26 years. 1995 was the start of goal mapping, and since that time it's reached more than 5 million people. And here on the screen is a goal map that represents my big mission, my life purpose. And really, goal mapping has very much defined my life over these last 26 years. My big goal is to reach 7 million people. And I'm looking to help people with goal mapping in lots of different areas of life. So you'll see here on the map, we have the main goal in the center of reaching 7 million people. And then on either side, there are other goals. So helping empower families, helping people in well-being, helping people in business, helping students in school. And this sense of purpose has been my main motivation for so many years. And you can see here on the screen how simple the concept of goal mapping is. A combination of words and pictures that together create great power. In fact, so much power is created with goal mapping that the system is used by world-leading brands such as Disney, Siemens, Microsoft, Coca-Cola. I've had 3 big corporate organizations book goal mapping just in the last week. And yet it's so simple as a system that school children will use it. And in fact, more than 1 million children from primary school, secondary school, university, in many countries, have all created goal maps to increase their grades. And teachers have commented in their study that we're increasing grades as much as 20% with this simple system for students to set goals. And of course, also it's helping them to aim higher and to reach for a brighter future. We have students in so many countries. So Sweden was the last picture, and here students in Nigeria, but more than 15 countries now around the world are using goal mapping in private school, as well as state education. We have sports people using goal mapping. This is Kathleen Konya, 3 times world champion kickboxer. And here you can see next to her photo is a goal map. A goal map is always created with this combination of words and pictures. Here we're just showing the pictures from Kathleen. And this was a map she created on paper in 2014 to help her win the World Championships. And so impressed with the results of goal mapping was Kathleen that she has become one of the certified trainers, and for some years now has been helping people find employment. Originally from Hungary, now lives in Copenhagen, and her passion is helping young women to be empowered and to find the thing that makes their heart sing, their sense of purpose. The system's often in the news, a lot of media reports, and over many years, I've run many presentations around the world, and often for many thousands of people. The books that I've written are in many languages, and there are numerous products, including DVDs and audio programs, talking books, ebooks, workbooks, etc. But the thing that is really the most powerful system and product I've created in many years, I believe, is the new online goal mapping software. It is both a way of watching the seminar through video and download so you can have the workbook and gain the learning and recorded webinars and presentations, and also, of course, the ability to create your map. And not just one map, but if you wish to, a whole series of maps. Because in addition to goal mapping, I've also created other mapping systems, such as life mapping, action mapping, and also at a more spiritual level, self-mapping. I feel it's important to share my backstory with you, and many of you may know it, so I will keep it to a minimum so we don't occupy too much time. But I feel that there is a power in knowing that my life started in an unusual way, in that I was born into a gypsy lifestyle. My family are traveling funfair people, and here in this old black and white photo, you can see my father's funfair. And in fact, it's my father at the bottom of the photo walking through the floodwater in the fair, which this picture was taken when the fair got flooded. And this picture was taken the year I was born. And I grew up in this life of traveling fun fairs and also going to the seaside each year when my father would open his fun fair equipment on the south side of the Isle of Wight, which is at the bottom of England. And so each year I would have different homes. I would have one home traveling around on the fun fairs for about 4 months each year. I would have another home on the Isle of Wight while we opened up the fun fair for the tourist industry through the summer season, again for about 4 months. And I'd have a third home each year at our winter base while we park up the fun fair equipment for the cold weather months. So each year, 3 different homes, different schools. I didn't attend school very much. I only went to school for about 5 months each year. That was divided between different schools. And in addition to all of that, I have dyslexia. So the academic part of learning I found very difficult. I never took any exams. I was often missing a lot of schoolwork. And at 13, I dropped out of education. And I went to work with my father in the fun fair business full time. I had some success, but I never learned to read and write properly. I never gained any qualifications. And at age 29, when the family business went into receivership, I found myself in a very difficult situation. At age 29, I was £1 million in debt. I was homeless. My home had been repossessed. My car had been repossessed. I was unemployed. I had absolutely no income in addition to £1 million of debt. And on top of all of that, I had no qualifications because of leaving school at 13, and I was unable to read or write properly. And life was looking very dark. And I was incredibly scared. I was worried. I just didn't know how I would turn that situation around. And I joined a sales organization. And I wasn't very successful in my selling at first, but it became a great turning point in my life. And it really started with this one statement from Henry Ford in a workshop one day with a sales organization. And it was this statement, and the trainer at the front of the room sharing this statement, that was a defining moment for me. If you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. I'd heard this statement before. Most people have heard the statement before. What was new for me on this day in this personal development workshop as part of the sales team I had joined is that the trainer at the front of the room was able to explain the simple science that sits behind this saying. And it helped me to not only understand the science and that the saying had substance, there was meaning in this saying. It wasn't just Henry Ford's opinion, there was some science. That was a big turning point for me. And it helped me to understand a strategy of how I could apply it in my life. And what I learned over a period of time is that all of us are blessed when we are born with billions of brain cells. And the estimate is you have 100 billion brain cells. And each one of your 100 billion brain cells or neurons, represented here on the screen by the black dot, grows these arms and branches, which are called dendrites. And you have a little wiggly tail, which is here in blue, called an axon. And when you have a thought, the thought starts in the middle of the brain cell as an impulse. It travels out along the dendrite arms, and it wants to make a connection with another arm and brain cell so that you can build up a pattern of thought. But there is a small gap that separates all of the brain cell arms. It's called the synaptic gap. Now, here is the key point to understand, and it's a particularly important point for everyone, but especially so if you're a coach, a trainer, or a therapist, etc. And here's that point. If the thought you choose to think is positive, and I'm emphasizing each word because I believe each word is really important. If the thought you choose to think, something may happen in your day, someone is rude to you, something goes wrong, and you have a sort of an instantaneous negative reaction. Within a moment or two, it's a choice. And you can choose to stay focused on what is wrong and negative, or you can choose to use your free will, work with your mind, and focus on what is right and choose to be positive. It's a choice. If you exercise that choice, or if you're helping your client to choose a positive thought, as we choose that positive thought, the positive thought starts in the middle of the brain cell, it travels out along the axon, and it triggers a neuroreceptor to release a chemical into your brain called serotonin. And serotonin is the feel-good chemical. It's the happy chemical. If you think a positive thought about yourself, about your life, about your situation, it releases serotonin into your brain and body, and it gives you a happy feeling. And you can search the internet. There are millions of documents written now about this. I believe it's often more powerful just to know it in your own experience. If you were to close your eyes for a moment and think about something very, very happy that's happened to you recently or in the past, or something happy you imagine will happen soon in the future, within a few moments of focusing on that positive thought, you release the serotonin, you feel happy right now in the moment. In addition to giving us a good feeling, serotonin also acts as a neuroconductor. It joins the brain cells together. It allows our thought to continue on its journey, and we birth that aha moment. We have that light bulb experience where we find an answer to our problem. We birth a new idea. We see a new way forward. It's this joining together of brain cells in this way that helps us go, oh yeah, I'll do this. To have that breakthrough moment, whether for yourself or a client you are seeking to help. And when we have that joining of the brain cells and we release the serotonin and we suddenly see an idea and we feel inspired as well as motivated, the brain cells are joining together. But then shortly afterwards, the brain cells will separate again. And this is why it's so important to set our good ideas as goals. Because every time we think about our goal, imagine our goal, tell ourselves we're going to achieve our goal, we reactivate the brain cell connection, and gradually as the brain cells fire together, they wire together. And as we make more and more connections, we're able to use more power within our brain. We're able to engage both our right visionary brain, having lots of ideas for the future, a good outlook on the future, as well as creativity to help us overcome challenges, as well as in balance working with our left brain to form a strategy, make a plan, be effective in our action. It's this balanced interaction, because it's not a static point, it's dynamic. One side balancing with the other side backwards and forwards, like an infinity sign. It's this balanced interaction that helps us to be really, really effective, that we can both hold a good vision of our future, work with our creative mind to overcome challenges, as well as in balance, working with our left brain, our logical mind, so that we're able to form a strategy, make a plan, and be effective in taking our action. Therefore, if you think you can, you probably will, because in choosing to think positively that you can, you start the initial brain cell connection, you release the serotonin, you help the whole brain activation, and you deliver motivation to yourself to move forwards towards the direction of your desires. If, however, the thought you have is negative, whether that's a negative thought about yourself, your life, your situation, your negative thought does the opposite. It stimulates a different neuroreceptor in your brain. It releases a different chemical called cortisol. Cortisol is the chemical that's a stress hormone. It's part of your fight or flight response. And when you go into fear, your brain and your body releases lots of cortisol. It gives you the feeling of fear so that you pull back and take more care of what's going on around you. And the cortisol is a chemical messenger. It shuts down all your secondary body systems. So your digestive system, your lymph system, your immune system, and whole areas of your brain are shut down, and your mind becomes tunnel focused on the thing that you fear, and all the energy that you save by shutting down your secondary systems is sent to your muscles so you can fight or flight and survive the danger. The system works really, really well when the danger we face is a wild animal that wants to eat us for lunch. In modern life, we no longer face those primitive types of danger, and yet our brain responds in the same way. If our fear is losing our income because of the COVID situation and lockdown and restrictions in our normal working patterns, and our life is changing, and we are worrying about our future and how we will provide for ourselves and our loved ones, our brain responds in exactly the same way as there being a wild animal. But instead of us running away really fast from a hungry bear that wants to eat us for lunch, and through that frantic exercise of running away from the bear and maybe climbing a tree, In ancient times, we would have burnt off the cortisol, released serotonin, and rebalanced our brain chemistry. But of course, in modern life, we can't run away from things like a lack of employment, a shortage of money, a fear of the COVID-19 crisis. And people sit and they worry. And when we worry, we release lots of cortisol, but we are not moving our body enough to burn off the cortisol. It sends us into stress. It blocks our immune system. It makes people sick. And in addition, our brain closes down, which means the problem looks bigger and bigger and bigger in our mind. The solution to life's modern challenges is to learn the science of effective goal setting. Because when we set a goal, we are strengthening those positive brain cell connections. And the more we think about a goal and remind ourselves of our goal, the more it helps us to grow our self-belief. Belief in ourselves and belief in our ability is at essence simply the established connection between two or more brain cells. That means that by repeating the same thought, by imagining, using affirmation, we can make new brain cell connections. We can form new beliefs at any age, at any time, and we can also dissipate old beliefs, limiting beliefs that may be holding us back. As we develop positive beliefs, so we release more serotonin and we grow our self-esteem, and also we empower our behavior, helping us to be at our best. While we are all unique and different, each of us at essence are a combination of thought, feeling, and action. And through our thoughts and our feelings and actions, we influence our life around us. We find our path in life, the thing that makes our heart sing, and we start to shape our life in a positive way. It was in understanding this information that I transformed my own life from being massively in debt to hugely prosperous, from being unemployed to being the star performer within the team, and then going on to form a new career for myself as a speaker and a trainer. And what I really started to understand is how our thoughts create our reality, both in ourselves, of how we feel and how we behave, and also, of course, how we influence our life around us. It is this unique combination of words and pictures helping to activate both the left logical mind and the right creative mind that have given such great power to the goal mapping system. Only by using the combination of words and pictures are we able to engage the whole brain, to be clear about our vision of the future, as well as working with a logical plan that we can pursue. And many times over the years when I've been presenting goal mapping, people have had the mistaken idea that positive thinking is about walking through your life with your head in the clouds, pretending everything's wonderful, even when it's not. And that really isn't positive thinking. It's simply another form of delusion. Positive thinking is not closing our eyes to the challenges. It's being aware of them and then choosing to hold our dominant thoughts on the positive while still being aware of the potential negative. And the reason why this balance between the positive and the negative is so important to understand is because it has a direct relation to how our conscious and our subconscious mind work together. Our conscious mind is like the master of a magic lamp. And by rubbing the magic lamp, by thinking with our conscious mind, we're able to command our subconscious genie. And our subconscious is enormously powerful. And many experts estimate that the subconscious mind is many thousands of times more powerful than the conscious mind. It can do the most amazing things which the scientists still don't understand. But there is one really crucial thing that the subconscious mind cannot do, and that is it cannot make choices. Your subconscious mind is just like a magical genie. It must obey the commands of the master, the holder of the lamp. Your subconscious cannot wish for you. And so by thinking about what you want, you command your subconscious to move you towards that. And this can be both a blessing or a burden, depending on your dominant thought, because your subconscious mind always follows your strongest thought. And if we start to think about what is wrong too much, then our subconscious takes a negative command and moves us towards what we do not want. I've been talking about this in my seminars for many years, how people often go into some form of self-sabotage because they overly think about what is wrong or what they fear will happen in the future. Worry is a little bit like setting a negative goal. And when you worry, you create a visualization in your mind of what you do not want. And your subconscious can't make choices. It can't decide between what you want and what you do not want. It simply follows your strongest thought. And the key with goal setting is to make sure the thoughts of what you want are stronger than the thoughts of what you don't want. And there are a number of different things we can do to empower our positive thoughts when we're setting goals, to make sure that our subconscious moves us towards those thoughts that are focused on what we want rather than those thoughts of what we fear. Some years ago in my workshop talking on this subject, there was a man in the front row and he put up his hand and he said, "I'm a motorcycle riding instructor." And he told me and the rest of the audience that the big danger for motorcyclists in England are that we have many holes in the road, potholes. And what they're teaching the motorcyclists, if you hit one of these big holes, it can be fatal. There are 5, 6 people died in recent years because they've hit this hole in the road and it's thrown them off of their motorcycle and they've been killed in a traffic accident. And so they're teaching the motorcyclists, be aware of the hole in the road, but whatever you do, don't stare at the hole, because if you stare at the hole, you'll automatically steer and go to the hole. It's simply how the subconscious mind works and responds. Be aware of the hole, stay focused on where you want to go. It's the same principle they teach to racing car drivers. If you've ever taken skiing instructions, you will have probably observed it's the same principle they give in skiing. If you stare at the tree, you'll ski to the tree. You stay focused on where you want to go and your skis follow in that direction. It's a great life principle, of course. As we move along our path in life, or we are working as a coach and a trainer to help other people move along their life path, there will be many holes. There will be edges of cliffs and scary places and things we would rather avoid. How do we maintain that difficult balance of staying focused on the positive to make sure that we avoid and maneuver around those challenges while not closing our eyes to them? How do we stay focused on the positive yet still be aware of the negative? Do it every day, do it in a simple way. Well, set goals, and in particular, create a goal map. And the reason why a goal map is working so amazingly well is this balanced combination. It's quite unique in the way that it operates, using words and pictures. Words for the right brain, which connects to your subconscious genie, because your subconscious thinks in pictures. And then the words for the left brain, because your left brain thinks in words, your right brain thinks in pictures and connects with your subconscious. And together, they help to activate the whole brain. In creating your goal map, you will go through a number of steps. So in the center, we've got a main goal. Then on either side of the main goal, we have other goals, and these can all be from different areas of our life, or they can all be focused on the same one objective, the same area of life, such as well-being, financial freedom, harmonious relationships. At the top of the map, we have our motivating reasons why we want the goal, and then when and how we will do it, what are the major actions, and then finally, step 7, who will help us in achieving the goal. 7 simple steps to create the map in words and pictures, so we're activating both sides of the brain and helping ourselves to be at our best, command our subconscious, as well as being consciously clear about the goal. When I was first teaching this system, all of the books at that time were really suggesting write your goals down using lots and lots of words. And really, it wasn't mentioned at all to create pictures or use pictures. And then gradually over the years, around about 2000, as sports athletes realized the power of visualization, suddenly dream boards and vision boards become more popular. And I'm often working with people that have a dream board or a vision board, and they show it to me, and they find that goal mapping has much more power for them, because the dream board or the vision board is lacking words. There is no clarity. We have both sides of the brain because we need both sides of the brain. With the left brain, we can quantify. We can be smart with the goals. How much, how many, by what time. With the right brain, the imagery helps to command the subconscious. And one without the other is incomplete and lacking power. If you've been with me in recent months, you will know that I'm running a masterclass such as tonight every month. And I've been taking people on a journey to help them map their life. Starting with a goal map that is the big picture of how they would like their life to be in the future, and then creating additional maps so we can give more detail and gain more clarity and information about the important areas of life. With the mental, finding authentic happiness. With the emotional, creating a feeling of fantastic. With the physical, vibrant well-being. The material, to have financial freedom. In the social, loving relationships. And then in the spiritual, finding and following a sense of purpose. 7 goal maps. Using each goal map for a month and looking at it once a day while saying the words, visualization with the right brain, affirmation with the left brain, creating whole brain activation. Do that for 1 month. It establishes the brain cell connections, creates and strengthens new beliefs, forms new winning attitudes, empowers new behavior, and gradually over a series of months, mapping out your life in a set of goal maps that help you to be your best, do your best, and achieve your best results. It is such a simple system. And without any elaborate marketing, now reaching over 5 million people, mostly based on word of mouth recommendation from people using the system over many years, achieving great success themselves, and then recommending it to others. Even my largest clients, such as Microsoft, approach me based on recommendation from others that they should use goal mapping as part of their training. And tonight we're going to hear from some of the coaches that have been using goal mapping for some years. There are now 1,500 coaches, trainers, therapists, teachers of the system around the world, all using it in their own way, often in conjunction with other things that they teach, because regardless of whether you're a sports coach or a confidence coach or an education coach or a life coach or a business coach, it is part of your coaching practice or training or therapy to help your clients achieve their goals. And goal mapping is quite simply a really effective tool to have in your toolbox to help you to have those breakthroughs with your clients. And of course, clients that you help to have a breakthrough become raving fans. And there is no more effective marketing really than having a raving fan that you've helped to achieve something meaningful in their life, and they want to tell everyone how those people should also work with you. We're going to hear from some of the other coaches in just a little while. Before we do so, let me explain how the material moves to a deeper level. I mentioned just now very briefly that we are each a combination of thought, feeling, and action. Our repeated thoughts that we accept as true gradually form into our beliefs. Our repeated feelings that we have over and over and over solidify into our attitudes towards ourselves and life and people. And our repeated actions and activity, our behavior, form habit patterns, all of which goes into shaping ourselves as a person. And then through these elements of belief and attitude and habit, we influence and shape our life around us. Goal mapping is very much focused on helping people think inspiring thoughts, capture those thoughts so that they become a command to the subconscious mind. I also have a second system called life mapping, which is designed to help people use words and pictures, activate the whole of their brain, but this time develop their qualities of character, to develop their winning attitudes. My third system is called action mapping, which helps people to change habit patterns and improve their interaction with others. And then at the deeper level, self-mapping is about bringing the whole together to become your true self, your balanced self, and your best person. Follows a very simple syntax or sequence for success. I believe everything starts with intention. Once we're clear about our intention for our life, for our purpose, for our mission, for ourself, the next point of power is to think about who do we need to be. If we have an intention, my intention is to reach 7 million people around the world and help lift their lives with goal mapping. And who do I need to be to achieve that? Because by being my best, it empowers what I do, which then leads me to have my intention. And I've been coaching senior executives in the organizations where I work for many years to be more, slow down a little very often, do less, but be more. And that gives a greater power to what you do. Be more caring, be more enthusiastic, be more present, be more balanced, be more inspired. And you will actually do what you're doing with greater power, which leads you to have your very best results. And goal mapping is all about setting an intention. Life mapping about being your best, action mapping about doing your best, so that you can be your best self and live your best life. Mindset, skill set, and results come together to form our habit patterns. So here then a goal map. Here is what a life map looks like. Here an action map. And many of the coaches and trainers that are operating with goal mapping are also teaching these other systems of life mapping, action mapping, and indeed at the deeper level, self-mapping. If you haven't already done so, I really strongly encourage you, please do go and register with the online software and coaching center. It's absolutely free to use, at the basic level. You can upgrade to a premium level if you want, or you can downgrade from a premium level and continue to use the basic level. Some people will have created their goal maps on paper. And while that has been very effective for a great many people over many years, in terms of coaching someone with their map, I am wholeheartedly recommending you use the digital software. And the reason for that is very simple. The coaching process, coaching somebody else to create their map, is not possible in the same way on paper as it is in the online software. So I'm going to come out of the PowerPoint presentation for a moment, and I'm going to bring up instead the website, and I've already got my account open, and I'm going to go straight into my maps folder. And I have a great many goal maps. For more than 20 years, I was using mostly paper drawn maps, but around 2018, 2017, I made the switch into using online maps, and I'm just amazed at how powerful it is. If I bring up one of my maps here, this is one of my purpose maps, and I'm going to zoom out a little so we can see the map a little more clearly. This is a map I did a little while ago about my online program, A Warrior Within, which some of you may have attended that are watching tonight. And here in the map, you can see we have a combination of words and pictures all together in the same page. And this is one of the advantages of using the online program, is that we can bring the words and the pictures together into a combined view. I can click on any of the images and bring it larger on the screen to examine it. I can do the same thing with any map that is shared with me by someone I'm coaching. And if I wish to, of course, I can choose how I view the map. So I can choose to see the map side by side in the traditional view, not just words and pictures. Make my camera a little smaller, just move that out of the way for a second. I can choose to see just pictures or just words. Most importantly, in regards to coaching someone, is that I can guide a client on screen share to go through the 7 steps of creating their map. And in real time, I can help them to create powerful affirmation statements that represent their goals. Very often when someone is writing their goals, they will simply write something such as get fit. It's really not a goal. It's 2 words. It's not an affirmation. An affirmation, and we will see this over thousands of years, is a statement. It's often a chant you will make where it's personal, positive, and present tense. So when I'm coaching someone, I get them to read the words out to me, get fit. And I'll ask them 1 to 10, how powerful is it for you? And maybe they're saying 3 or 4 or maybe 5 or even 6. But then I'll ask them, okay, let's write it as an affirmation. And I'll explain the basic principle: personal, positive, present tense. So I get fit. Okay. So is a little bit better. But really, if we're going to make it personal, positive, present tense, I am fit and healthy would be a more powerful statement. Again, I get the person to read it out each time, because when they read it out, it's having more influence on their subconscious. And in addition, I can hear in the tonality of their words whether they're really connected to the statement or not. And each time I'll ask them, give me a score, 1 to 10, how powerful is it for you? And maybe by this point it's reached a 7. It's a little bit like fine-tuning the lens of a camera or the dial on a radio. We only need a small adjustment to bring through a clear reception. It's a small adjustment on the lens of the camera that brings the picture into focus. It's a small adjustment on the tuning dial of the radio that makes the music sound sweet. One of the small adjustments that has a lot of power in goal mapping is I ask people, change the first letter of each statement into a capital letter. So I am fit and healthy. And again, in real time, you can see the shift in people as their tonality changes, because instead of this being a couple of words that may have been fairly meaningless and low in power, now there's a statement that pops off the page. And when they read it, I am fit and healthy, you can hear the power in the person's tonality. And I will have them update the statement and then move to the next step. And once they have 5 goals, the second step is to order the goals, to put them into sequence. The first step here is to write down 5 goals that represent their ideal outcome, either in their life generally or in their project or in their area of life. And there is a little meditation and guided visualization that you can watch here on the video if you want to do the tutorial, or as a coach, you learn to do in real time with your client. This is the same process you would follow if you were working on paper in a workshop or here working online with the digital goal mapping. Once the person has 5 goals and you have them worded in personal positive present tense, then it's time to move to the second step. And in this second step, we want to work with left brain logic. And there may be many things the person wants to achieve, and they may want them all equally. And it's also important to have one thing as the central focus, the main goal. And that one thing is identified by choosing the one thing that, once achieved, helps you to achieve the other things. You may want them all equally, but there will be one thing strategically, logically, which is the main thing to be achieved. And I will ask people, what is that one thing for you? And they can choose any of their goals and they can click on it and then click where they want it to move to, and the goal will move there. And they can move all of their goals around, put them in different positions until they feel their map is right. And then they can move to step 3, visualize. And here in this map, I already have my pictures loaded in, as you can see. And whether you're guiding someone to create their map from the beginning, or you're helping them to define their map and add more power, it's a really simple process to go to the image library. Everyone can have their own personal library, or you can go to the pre-stocked categories for lifestyle, education, happiness, well-being, financial freedom, relationships, and purpose, and just choose an image, and it will go directly into the map. In addition, you can also go to the search feature on the internet, and you can write in a keyword such as work, and it will bring you up again a series of options. Click, and it goes directly into the map. And so people are able to make these small changes on an ongoing basis. Even after your coaching session with a client, people can continue to refine the words so that they're defining their goals and add new images that they find really powerful, really stimulating, and then share the map with you for you to give and more feedback and more guidance to make it even more powerful. At the top of the map, we have the why, and here you can see 3 of my strongest reasons. Again, it's the same process of writing the words, and when you feel happy with the affirmation statement, adding the imagery so that always we have this core process of words and pictures helping to activate the whole of the brain. The map is incredibly dynamic in that you can move the aspects around. You can help your client feel that they really are connected with their goals. And then in step 5, it's time to get clear on when. You can choose both the start date and also the achievement date. And you can see here, this is a map that I've already achieved, 14th of April 2021. So we've gone past the date now. And then here in the how, these are the major actions needed to move along the path towards the achievement of the goal. And on paper, with these actions, you would be limited to just drawing in the basic actions. But here in the online system, we can go into much greater detail because we can write a to-do list and we can guide our clients to identify the things they may need to do to achieve their goals. So I exercise 1 hour per day. And they can go into a very detailed list of either their diet, their exercise regime, their work objectives, if it's a business goal map, and also project planning, if it's a goal map about creating a project, maybe connected with a whole team. Final step, step 7, who's going to help? And if you're a coach or a trainer or a therapist, maybe the who is you, because you're the person most connected, helping your client to achieve their goals. Sometimes here it's friends and family. Occasionally, of course, it's going to be just you, depending on the type of goal. And if it's your client saying, well, it's just me that needs to take this step, then you guide your client to think about which way they will need to be, which qualities of character most help them to be the person that's going to follow through and take the action and move along the path towards the achievement of their goals. So you can see I've got here, I am focused, or I am creative, or I am inclusive. And then I'm also mentioning other people that are connected with that action, such as my team and graphics person that's going to help me to take the actions and again move forward to achieve the goal. And so within the system, we have a combination of empowering video in the life path journey so that people can take the goal mapping workshop. Indeed, they can download the workbook pages as well as watching the video, so that if you wish to, you can set a course of learning for your clients, as well as being able to help them create their goal maps. And if you wish to, also life maps and action maps. When I'm coaching someone, one of the things that I do before I start my coach session with them is that I will create a coaching page. Here you can see I have a number of students in the system that I'm coaching at the moment. And here Carolyn started 2 weeks ago. And in our coaching page, I can see a picture of her. I can see she started 2 weeks ago with the coaching with me. I can see how many videos she's watched. So just taken the one video, one step on the life path. She's actually created 8 goal maps. She's done 2 life balance checks. And here you can see the messages between us. And at the bottom is her latest goal map, which she shared with me to give her feedback. And you can see here how she's writing her goals in affirmations, and not all of them as tight as I would be coaching her to do, and not using full capital letters, but still very good for one of her first maps. And she'll be moving through the system quickly and soon coaching other people. And the goal mapping system just works so amazingly well. It gives this great structure for you to be able to go through and guide your clients through. I can send Carolyn a message saying, well done on your map. And that message will not only be here in the messaging system, but also it'll send an email to let her know in case she doesn't go online and see it. And then here in the notifications, I can see new people that have messaged me, like Clayton here, or we also have a group chat. So if you've got a team map, as I have a number of teams where I have team maps, I can create a group chat with the team, and I can see messages from the whole team coming through. The other important feature is the life balance check. When you are helping someone to create their goal maps, the guiding principle is always by finding balance in yourself and bringing that balance to your life, you're achieving at the highest level of success. And so my recommendation is always that someone does not just one coaching session and one goal map, but they do a whole series of coaching sessions, and they create a whole series of maps, both goal maps, a life map, and also an action map. And sometimes to find the best starting place, taking the life balance check and gives new insights. And again, there is a video here in the orange button that you can play if you wish and watch, or play it for a client, or you can simply be intuitive, giving yourself a score for how balanced you feel mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. A lot of people at this time, of course, feeling very unbalanced socially because of the lockdown, and spiritually, maybe not feeling so connected to a sense of purpose. And here in the life balance check, it gives you an insight into which areas are low and therefore are really priority areas to go to first, and create a goal map to help bring that area of life into balance. And we can save that life balance check so we can come back to it another time. It saves into the life journal. And the path that I'm seeking to move people along here in the life mandala is this path of creating a goal map for their best life. And then 1 month later, goal map for happiness, self-worth, well-being, financial freedom, harmonious relationships and purpose. In no particular order. I'm going around them here in a clockwise sequence, but with a customer, I'm using the life balance check and their own intuition as well as mine to find which map is best to do next. Some customers want to create several maps quite quickly, and then they will slow down to doing 1 map per month. Other customers will take longer or shorter. In the coach training for the people that want to become certified in coaching goal mapping, we're doing 1 map per week. Some are in group sessions with me, and others are created in a one-to-one session with a focused coach of your choice. And then once a person is certified in goal mapping, they have the choice of being here in the coach profile. And you can see they come from many countries and walks of life. On the screen here, we've got Margot from Holland and Edmund from Ireland, Dirk from Germany, and then Berith from Denmark, Narelle from England, and the list goes on and on, with many countries and many coaches around the world focused on helping people in different areas of life, sometimes in their well-being, sometimes in business, sometimes in sport or employment, or raising self-esteem, or helping people with their confidence. We're going to speak to a few of the coaches in just a moment. Before we do so, let me just show that we have also a family section here in the online program. And when you take the coach certification, it also includes coaching with families. You can see here my audio book, Sound the Magic Genie, which I wrote for children to help them to understand the power of positive thinking and how their thoughts influence their feelings and behavior. We have a parents' goal mapping workbook that parents can use to help their children learn goal mapping, or that coaches can use to understand how to coach children with goal mapping. And then video and downloads and materials that if you want to work with students, there is a full set of resources. In addition, if you are a certified coach, then we have a complete certified resource center where you can go and you can download the materials to help you run goal mapping as a business, because we want to supply everything that somebody needs in order for them to be effective. So we have videos of past training sessions for people that want to watch them, deepen their understanding, logos, flyers, headers, banners, artwork of all types, where you can enter in your contact details and use the material to reach out to customers. There are case studies and testimonials on goal mapping from business, education, public, network marketing, and we have PowerPoint presentations and translations of some of the material into a number of different languages. In addition, we have material on some of the other techniques such as life mapping, action mapping, self-mapping, etc. And so there is a complete resource here, as well as being able to work with the online program, so that you have a platform where you can share goal mapping with people, not just here in the UK or somewhere where you can travel to, but it can be anywhere around the world. Going to take the screen share off for a moment and gonna go over to speak with some of our coaches who've given up their time tonight to join us. Stefan, you won't mind if it's ladies first, I hope. So just starting at the top left, Margot, would you like to share with us who you are, where you come from, how long you've been working with goal mapping, and how you're using it, some of the results you're seeing with your clients?
Absolutely. My name is Margot, and I'm from the Netherlands. I've been doing goal mapping since 2010. Actually, I met Brian at an event of the network marketing company I'm working with, was hosting. And he was talking about the brains like he just did. And at that moment, I found out that I had been depressed for 30 years. So what he said was really, like lightning strike inside me. Because up till then, I heard people talking about positive thinking, but it was always in the way that you should sit and meditate at the feet of the Taj Mahal, and everything would come by itself. And it's not my style at all. But then he was explaining what is happening in your brain, and I realized that there was hardly any serotonin in my brain, and it was only cortisol. And up till then, I thought, when you are thinking in a certain way, then that's that. So you have to accept it. So when you're depressed, then, I wasn't actually seeing a glass that was half full of half empty. I just wasn't even sure that the glass would make it till the next day. So that was how my thinking was. I was only thinking of what I didn't want to. So when I heard Brian talking, the only thing I could do at that moment wasn't very useful, but I was cry. Then I bought his book, and in 2010, I went to the Isle of Wight and I did the goal mapping practitioner. So, and after that, I did life mapping and action mapping and everything. But what did it bring me? Well, the most important thing it brought me was alive, because I wasn't in the plastic bag anymore looking at life, but I was able to step into life. It was really, for me, it was like that. So my life actually started then. And goal mapping had a big part in that, because it taught me how to change my thinking and how to change my brain. And I've been reading a lot about the brain and neuroplasticity, and but the most important thing wasn't the reading about, but it was actually the changing of the brain, and because of that, feeling differently. So it enabled me to build my network marketing company. And I use it, of course, for my team, because lots of people have problems with setting goals in network marketing. And I found out that most people, absolutely, I think 90% of the people or more, lack self-worth, feelings of self-worth, self-esteem, and self-love. And when they can't, when they don't have that feeling that they are worth something, no matter what they are doing, not only in network marketing, but in life in general, then they can never really set goals. So that's what I'm using goal mapping for. My niche, if you want to put it like that, has been empowering women, because I think, women need that. And they are almost always suffering from a feeling of guilt. When they're working, they're feeling guilty towards their family. When they're with their family, they're feeling guilty towards their work. So there's a lot of work to be done there. So that's one thing. And I'm thinking of expanding my business, because I'm, apart from the network marketing, I'm also coaching women. But now I'm thinking of expanding my business towards people that have been in a depression, because I'm, of course, an expert in that. And also helping second generation war victims. That's what I am actually as well. And I think the best way you can help people is first by living it and experiencing it, and then you can just use this beautiful system, because it's so easy. It looks so simple, but you can use it as deep as you want to. You can go as far as you want to, as long as the client, of course, is willing to do that. So you can use it in any part of life, for any group. And if you want to join and you want to become a coach, I would absolutely advise you to do the facilitator, because then you get more in-depth knowledge, and it will only enable you to help people more. And apart from the goal mapping and the life mapping, I'm using the self mapping and the action mapping every day for myself, and using the 4 systems only makes it stronger. So I will shut up now, because I can just I'm so enthusiastic that I can just go on and on. But you really have to experience it, and to do it for yourself, and to feel it inside of you, and then you can help loads of people. And Brian just told us that his goal is 7 million, but at the rate we're going now, I think it's possible that we can make it a little bit higher. I'm absolutely believing you can do that. So that was my experience.
It's so great to be with you, Margot, and you've done such a lot of good work with goal mapping over so many years, helping so many people. And I know originally you intended it just for your network marketing business, but I know that you've really reached out and helped a lot of different types of people. And as is so often the way, I hear from coaches that they're finding ways that the system is helping them that they never expected. And that's always for me a real joy when I'm getting a message and they're telling me how the system has worked for them personally, as well as their intention of helping their clients. And Nikki, lovely to be with you. Thank you again for taking the time and tuning in. Would you share with everyone who you are? And you've been working with goal mapping again quite a long time.
Yeah, hello, and it is lovely to see everyone. Lovely to be with everyone this evening. I was thinking about the goal mapping. My goal mapping journey started in 2009 when I was sat in a full-day workshop with Brian, and at the time I was a very skeptical, left-brained, logical finance director. I did come very open-minded, but I was very much left-brain logic. Way of thinking, and at the time I was in the process of serving notice through redundancy, leaving my last FD position. I had started Wild Empowerment, which is my first coaching business, and was putting the foundations in place for the business and making that transition. So the goal mapping workshop was the perfect timing, and I still have next to me my very first goal map. And I do say to people, be careful what you wish for, because things you put on your goal map have a habit of coming true, even when you're not thinking about it. And lots of things in that first goal map happened to me by accident, or by almost by magic. And I loved the goal mapping, the whole philosophy so much that I decided I needed to share it with everyone I was going to come across, and therefore I had to be certified. And I went in at the practitioner level. And I have subsequently trained as to use the online coaching tool as well. And I have to say, I love the online coaching platform. And I've used it. I had to make a list of all the different ways that I use goal mapping with clients, because it is such a versatile system that it isn't just in one thing. So my sort of a short version of my very long list. And I do say this to all of my clients, the reason why I'm still using it after 12 years is because, quite frankly, I haven't yet found anything else that works anywhere close to as well, let alone better. So why wouldn't I keep using a system that's so effective? And I use it with clients to help them get really clear, not just on what their goals are, but how to set goals effectively. I use it mostly in the business world. And in the business setting, most of the people I meet are setting goals as basically glorified to-do lists. They're writing things they are going to do, not thinking about the outcomes, certainly not thinking about how they want to show up and achieve them. And goal mapping is such a revelation to everyone in the audience that I work with. So in corporate world, for example, with the executive coaching work that I do, it complements brilliantly. Tomorrow morning, I've got a half-day workshop with finance professionals in the NHS, and we'll be taking them through the goal mapping system. And it's people in leadership roles, newly appointed managers, career progression, managing positive change, just simple things like time management and self-management, and learning how to sort of manage their own sort of inner resources better, achieving life goals alongside career goals, and that whole work-life balance. And I say to my clients very often that the whole realization around how our brain is working, it fascinated me from the start, and I have loved it ever since. I know what it's like to be in cortisol land, and I know how it feels to be in serotonin world. And quite frankly, I don't like feeling like I'm in cortisol land. So I now have the tools that help me switch back into serotonin world, and that's what keeps me effective. And I was going to just I've got sort of so many examples of shared goal maps with my clients where they've created in that corporate space something that is very, very personal and incredibly motivating. One of my lovely success stories, a finance director, I took her and her whole team through both personal goal maps, and we did a team goal map. I love doing team goal maps with my corporate clients. And she got in touch with me about 6 or 7 months ago. This is somebody I worked with them 11 years ago doing their team goal maps. And she got in touch having achieved things that she put on her goal map back then, including traveling the world. And she'd spent the last couple of years traveling the world. She was holed up in New Zealand, where she'd been locked down with family for the whole COVID lockdown, that she phoned me from New Zealand to say thank you, because there were things she put on her goal map which she would never have even dreamt were possible. She was a finance director. She was on a career path, and she left all that and took the sort of the leap to follow what was really important to her, and she found a way to make that work, which she wouldn't have done had she not sat in a goal mapping workshop, which she thought she'd brought me in to help her team. She just happened to be sitting in on it. So it shows how versatile it is in the corporate world. I use it with own managed businesses, balancing business goals with their personal goals, balancing the commercial side of the business with the commercial and the cultural sides, mindset, resilience, managing change, lifestyle businesses, getting that lifestyle in place. And I do a lot of work. I'm a charity trustee for a charity that's based in Basingstoke, near where I live, and we work with those who've been through redundancy. So it's executives and professionals who are looking for their next paid role. And I've got a full day workshop. I'm doing so I think I'm doing 8 workshops with them this year. We've managed to secure funding for those, and that's full day workshops on career and connecting the career with your calling. So not just I want a job or I'm employed, but a job which is actually aligned with, we talk about doing the thing that makes your heart sing, having that passion for your job, so that you wake up in the morning enthusiastic rather than just going to work because it's something to do. So that, and my final area that I use is with coaches, because I love coaching coaches. So some of my clients are coaches who are either learning the goal mapping system or who've asked me to mentor them in their coaching business. So establishing a successful coaching business that's aligned with their vision, their values, and turning that into a commercial success with ideal clients. So yes, my absolute gold star success client was a coach who in December set her 5-year plan for her coaching business, and the following August, so 8 months later, got in touch with me to ask for another goal map because she'd done everything on her 5-year plan in 8 months. So she's my current gold star. So I hope that just gives you a little overview of the huge variety of different ways you can coach clients and use goal mapping in all sorts of areas of life.
You're such a superstar, Nikki, and I love getting those messages from people saying, oh, I was on your workshop, or I did that goal map and I didn't think much of it at the time, but here I am X amount of years later, and I've achieved all the goals. And at first I used to go, wow, but now it's almost like those messages, they're coming almost every week, that I'm getting a message from someone somewhere saying, I did a goal map with you some time back and I've achieved all these goals, or I did a goal map with one of the coaches and I've achieved all these goals. And it just gives me such a lift, and it's why after 26 years, one, I'm still doing my own maps, and two, I'm still excited about coaching other people and teaching the system because it still seems fresh. Marjorie, lovely for you to join us. I can see a goal mapping book there in the background. So, and you got your goal map out, and Nikki's got her map up as well. And share with us, Marjorie, your experience of goal mapping, and I know that you've been using it again in lots of different ways.
I was introduced to goal mapping back in 2004 as a counsellor for a company that used it to help people manage their weight after they had lost their weight. And I must admit, I kind of got excited and off I went to see you, and I think it was at the Scouts place where you were doing a presentation in 2005. And I was the last one to get into the room. So I was very embarrassed walking out the back. Yes. And I loved it. But I want to share my story. In 2002, I burnt and crashed after working in the corporate world as a credit manager. And as a credit manager, I spent my whole life setting goals. And then there I was in this workshop in 2005, watching this system, thinking I will never be able to set a goal again in my life because I'd forgotten how up until that point. and I got excited when you were doing the delivery. Off I went and decided I was going to be a practitioner. So December, I went and actually saw you, and I was on the practitioner training in January. And I sat there, and when I actually had to find my whys, I realized how powerful this program was. And I see it as a program, and I see it as a way of life, because for me, it has transformed my life. What I had put in my goal map as a practitioner was I wanted to find my voice. And I've got to say, over the years, I've been able to start to not only find my voice, I think some people wish I would stop finding my voice, but I share it with everybody. It's a program I use with people that I consider that have lost their way mentally, because I had for a very long time. And I find the life mapping was the one that helped me to once again find purpose and a point to being here on this planet. What was my purpose? I'd lost that when I was mentally ill. My purpose up until that point was to be a credit manager and to fly as high in the corporate world as possible. And after burning out in that world, it wasn't where I wanted to go. And even just setting a goal was something that I found really challenging. Goal mapping has helped me to find my life and purpose again. And using the life mapping and then the powerful self mapping, it has transformed not just my life, but my clients' lives as well. I was diagnosed with cancer back in 2014. And I remember when I was told I had cancer, my life map came up. And my life map and my purpose was to live my life in peace, no matter what was put in front of me. And in that moment, I felt the rage of being told I had cancer, but my map was so strong that the peace came, and I was at peace throughout all my chemo, through all my treatment. I used goal mapping to help me get through it. And I've actually used goal mapping to help other people, using the hope process with Macmillan. I've used goal mapping in bereavement. I've used goal mapping to help people set goals on how they want to die. I've used goal mapping for people to be successful in their business, whether that is a entrepreneurial business or that is a dressmaking business. I have used this process in all aspects, but more importantly, is with children. It doesn't matter how old the child is. My niece started her first goal map when she was 4, and I've actually found it the other day when I was doing a clear up. We have been using it as a family. I've been using it with my friends. And what was even more powerful was the other day when someone told me it took 10 years for her to move into the house that she drew when she was pregnant and homeless. And I got that message the other day. This is one of the most powerful systems I've ever used in my life. And I have used lots of systems. In fact, I am a learning junkie. But the one thing that keeps me going back is goal mapping. And no matter what you do, and no matter what skills you've got, this can just merge, and it works seamlessly throughout all the tools that are out there. But it is the one thing that when your clients walk away, they take away the future that they've created in that map. That's it. I'm up now. I'm passionate.
I think you had the full range of application there, from little people to big people, and from helping people to recover from illness or even end their life in a peaceful way. And I never, ever imagined there would be so many applications for goal mapping, or it would reach so many people when I first started teaching it back in 1995. It's been an amazing journey, and maybe for me, one of the most rewarding things in that journey has been meeting so many amazing people like yourselves. As Stefan in Sweden, would you like to share your story about coming to goal mapping? And I know you're doing again some great work with it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Stefan Andreasson, and I'm based in Gothenburg in Sweden on the west coast. I started out as very much a techie. Everything is easy, 1 + 1 = 2. On the journey of life, I've discovered that that's not so often the case. It's very often much more than 1. It can be really, or more than 2, can be really much. But for some people, it can be less as well. And those need some insights. And that is one of the reasons I started with goal mapping. I've been working in a tech company. I started out with Ericsson, being there for a number of years, being in a leadership position, being a manager for a number of people. And so there, my interest in people and in leadership awakened. And it's taken over my life. When the company said, you have to choose in between a tech career and a management career, I actually choose to go to a consultant company where I could work with people and have them guide them into having good processes with other people. It was not so much about the tech, it was how to be used, the technology. So I've had a long leadership career, mainly in IT and within the tech department, but also as a business manager and business area manager and operational leader for companies. So I have a deep root within technology, but I'm using goal mapping and the other mapping technologies a lot in that environment. I also run my own company, so I'm nowadays working with 2 parts. One part as a sales and recruitment person within IT, and one part with my own company with goal mapping and life mapping and coaching people. I met Brian about 10 years ago, also in network marketing company scenario in a sports hall in Denmark. First time I got in touch with goal mapping, and it hit me right in between the eyes or in the heart.
Was that summer camp?
It was Kim Madsen summer camp, yes. And it was so fascinating because being a leader, money has never been a driver point for me or anything that motivates me. It's about finding something else that motivates me. And with goal mapping, I found that driver, I found my purpose. And it actually drove me to tears doing my first goal map. And it was on pen and paper. It was just the stick figures and easy figures. But that combination of having strong words and strong pictures that really meant something to me, that was so powerful. And I was stuck. I've been using goal mapping ever since and decided I want to be a practitioner with goal mapping. I'm also working with life mapping, action mapping, and self mapping, and using all the tools. So I'm coaching in and talking and presenting full day workshops, both in network marketing. I'm coaching pro bono for Almi, which is an entrepreneurship organization for new companies here. And I'm coaching students in a school to have their direction for life, and talking a lot about entrepreneurship, because mindset is the key to everything nowadays. When entrepreneurs, they have a focus, some of them, they take the business plan and they execute it totally to the point, they think at least, because they run out of power, because they neglect their family, they neglect their whys on why they started a business. What's the purpose in life? What's the best life? So I'm always doing a business goal map, and I'm also doing a best life goal map with the entrepreneurs. I'm forcing them to do it because that's where their whys lie to drive their business. And the same with students. It's not learning for school, it's learning for themselves, for their life, not for school, not for grades, but to have a great life. And again, it's about multiplying with this efficiency factor, their drive, their mindset. It doesn't matter if you have great knowledge, great skill set, if the multiplier is below 1. Because if you have 0 mindset to share that skill set and mindset, it will do nothing. But if you have 1,000 or 100 in your mindset in the multiplier, it doesn't matter how much education or skills that you have, you will learn and you will make sure you get through life and be the best life and make it happen. So in these days where COVID has changed life for many people and we're sitting from home doing our work and doing our studying, that self-leadership, having the whys on why you're doing what you're doing, is so, so important. But also for the managers and the leaders to know how to lead people that are sitting isolated at home with their computer, with technology. How do we create an environment where new ideas prosper? Because if you're sitting there by the computer, who do you discuss? I have this wonderful idea. What do you think about it? You could do that by the coffee machine normally. Nowadays, you have to phone someone or make a call, or we have the scheduled creativity Friday, and no one will open their mouth in front of 50 colleagues with their stupid idea, which was the best idea they ever had. So the leadership is extremely, extremely focused for me now, both in business and in schools and wherever I am teaching goal mapping.
And if you needed to guess a little about how many people you've now helped with goal mapping, and you're also, of course, certified in life mapping, action mapping, and self mapping, how many people do you think you've touched the lives of now?
I'm guessing I'm reaching about 10,000.
Amazing.
So it's and I've done it mainly previously in workshop and in presentations workshop. Now I'm also doing a lot of coaching and coaching coaches, which is also a way of multiplying my time, which is also good to reach out. And me too, I always have my goal map printed out. This one is my 100th birthday goal map. So it's from a date to my 100th birthday. But also talking about, we always or often talk about the analogy of managing your boat. You can't affect or influence the winds of change or the winds that powers the boat, but there is power in the wind, and you can learn how to harness to take care of it and control your boat and manage and go around and setting your new goals where you want to go. But as life changes, you can sometimes need to go around the mountain, go around an island. You can reset your course to avoid dangers and make it the best journey. But also with life mapping, maybe if as a leader, you're not alone in the boat, you have a crew that you want to have that same direction, and being a leader where you share that thought, that we have a baseline and a framework and everyone know where we are heading, then you are making yourself obsolete in that way that the organization will continue even if you yourself fall overboard. And that's an organization that I want to be a part of, because it's also the most selfish thing you can do. Empower your people around you to know the way and take decisions themselves. Then you as a leader can set that environment, do less for yourself and let the people be empowered to make decisions. And if something happens, you want to go for a vacation for 2 months, then you can do it because you know the organization will do it the right way anyway. So it's always about setting direction and being a smart leader. And I think goal mapping, life mapping is a way of being a smart leader. I really love also one saying, and I often use this. You might have heard of Ingemar Stenmark, the downhill skier. One day, a radio journalist asked him when he had taken his 83rd victory or something, didn't you have a little luck this time? And Ingemar, he made some thinking, he said, it's amazing. The more I train, the more luck I have. And actually, the point here is that luck is not an accident. You can prepare yourself to have luck. It's like a lottery. You can buy a ticket or you can buy many tickets. Here you can also control the odds, because you can be in a place where you sort of expose yourself to luck and have that mindset of seeing the opportunities that's discovered in life. So luck is not an accident. It's something that you can control. And like if you're wanting to have a new job, make sure your network, expose yourself for people where you can prove and display that you have the mindset to make a change. And that way you sort of influence your odds. I myself, it's quite amazing. I have 2 major job changes, and both occurred when I was on Shine with Brian, which is his personal development workshop. And I was sitting in Tallinn in a hotel foyer and got this call from a man that had headhunted me previously. And he said, you should talk to this lady, they need someone like you. And actually, that's the IT company I'm working part-time with now. And that is also, it's in my direction. My purpose is to work and to help people find themselves. And I can do that both in the IT company and with my own company. It's just another way of reaching my target, my purpose.
Stefan, you've been a real inspiration to work with over the years. I'm so impressed how many people you've helped with goal mapping. It's fantastic that you're involved now, as is Nikki, Margot and Marjorie, in training new coaches that want to learn the system. For anyone that would like to read more about the work with Margot, Nikki, Marjorie, Stefan, or indeed Vicky, who's acting in support with me tonight, you can see that here in the Life Coaches tab, and you can just put in the name, such as I'll put in Stefan's name, and he will come straight up, or Nikki, or indeed Margot, or Marjorie. And you can open up the coach profile, and you're able there to see more detail about that person, what their passion is. You can read what other people have to say about them. And of course, you can also check out their goal maps, see their sense of life purpose, the things that they aspire to. And there are coaches of all ages and from many walks of life, as you can see. I still create my own goal maps here in the online system, and in particular with my business goal maps, having the ability to create a to-do list as I have here, and I can see all of my actions from all of my map I need to take. I can print them out on a sheet of paper. I can make it very dynamic and move all of the actions around, or add in more actions I need to take, so that it becomes a living document and a plan. I think it was Marjorie saying, when she was explaining about using goal mapping, how she's taught it to both young and old. And here is a goal map from my own daughter. Both of my children started creating goal maps at ages 4 and 5. They've created them for many different things over the years. And here my oldest daughter, when she was 10, creating a goal map to be the best big sister she could be. And the point that I would like to emphasize here is that the system is so simple that a young child can use it and create a goal map. And more than 1 million school students of different ages have created goal maps. And yet the system is so powerful. It's used by global organizations such as Microsoft and Siemens and Disney and Coca-Cola. Not often organizations will have a goal map that is a vision for the future, and then they will have department goal maps. One of the great benefits that organizations prize with a goal map is you're capturing all the important information on one page. This map from the senior team in the sales department of Microsoft UK. Many organizations use goal mapping as a personal development plan. So if you want to take a career path in British Telecom, for instance, you'll often be asked to create a goal map to help you map out what you want to achieve and why, and the route you need to take. Remember, in creating your goal map, you are creating those brain cell connections, and brain cells that fire together gradually wire together. But at first, we have the idea, we form the connection, and the brain cells part. And so it's very important to actually use your goal map. And the reason why the people on the call this evening, such as Stefan, Marjorie, Margot, and Nikki, etc., have their goal maps, and I have my goal map, it isn't just for the purposes here of showing them on the presentation. It is because we are using the system. And by looking at the map once a day, and as you look at the words and read them, affirmation, left brain, and you look at the pictures and you visualize them, right brain, that combination of affirmation and visualization is what creates the whole brain activization. It sends a powerful command to your subconscious to move you towards your goal, and it consciously reminds you of the things you've decided are important and why and when and what you will need to do on a daily basis. And I have my goal map right next door to my to-do list. And by looking at the map once a day, saying the words while viewing the pictures, it helps to form these strong brain cell connections. The stronger you make the connection, the more you move towards the goal. By printing out your map, you can also add your signature, which is another level of power because you're given a commitment. And by sharing it with other people, one of the benefits in having your map printed is you can have it somewhere like on a bedroom door, or up on your workplace, or on the refrigerator, or next to the bathroom mirror, because looking at your map early in the morning, while you're still in a little bit of sleepiness, alpha rhythm as it's called, sends a very powerful reminder to your subconscious mind, reestablishes those brain cell connections, overrides negativity, and helps set you up for a good day ahead. Now, forming those brain cell connections, having a regular reminder, activating the whole brain is really a main focus to follow through with. And to help people do that, we have a new series of daytime workshops. Next one coming up, there's going to be one per month. And so next Monday, Monday 24th, we're going to have a daytime workshop, 3 hours, covering similar information to tonight, but in more depth. And as part of that more depth, we're going to look at the bicycle of ability, this simple model that's helped so many people. Each of us in life are like a bicycle. We need to be moving towards something to maintain our balance. The back wheel of the bicycle, we could say, is our technical knowledge and skills. The front wheel is our softer skills, communication skills. It is us that get up and ride the bicycle every day. Our mindset, our level of self-motivation, our ability to hold winning attitudes and step forward with confidence is what empowers us to use our knowledge and skills to best effect. And all of it comes together through learning how to set goals in an effective way. You heard some of the people tonight talking about being a goal mapping facilitator and goal mapping practitioner. And that is someone that's learned both the coaching of the goal mapping and also the content of these 7 fundamental principles that form the philosophy of positive thinking that is taught in the goal mapping and life mapping workshops, so that it empowers the goal mapping and life mapping techniques. So if you wish to coach people one-to-one, goal mapping coach empowers you to do so. If you want to run a workshop over several hours or indeed several days, then there is a real depth of content. And in the gold workshops, for anybody at the gold level of goal mapping online, you'll be able to access now these monthly workshops where I'll be inviting some of the coaches you've seen this evening, as well as others, to share in more detail their thoughts and feelings and beliefs and the techniques they use in addition to goal mapping to help empower their clients. If you're already subscribed to Goal Mapping Online, it's really simple to upgrade. You can just click on the blue button. You can upgrade for 1 month and just pay a month's worth, $9.99, to attend the program. And if you're not happy after 1 month, you can actually downgrade again back to the bronze level. None of your data is deleted, and you can just try it for 1 month, or you can have a further reduction by upgrading for the year. If you would like to teach goal mapping on a professional basis, then you would be very welcome into the community. You've heard from some of the coaches and trainers tonight. Of course, there are many more. We have a regular Monday evening meeting on Zoom where we share best practice and support each other. You've seen the resource center available. And to explain the training a little, I'll just go through some of the system now. It's worth pointing out that even the world's top coaches, such as Anthony Robbins, have endorsed the system, saying how effective it is for sustainable success. And I've worked with Tony Robbins many times. He's had me fly to many places around the world to work with his top customers, teaching them the goal mapping system. And of course, Tony Robbins has his own goal setting system. He really doesn't need to pay for me to fly around the world and to teach goal mapping to his clients. But so strong as the recommendation and the results been of the goal mapping workshops, it's something that I've done for many years for the Robbins organization. And it's great to have Tony's endorsement here. We have 3 levels of certification within the goal mapping and life mapping program. And the first level, goal mapping coach, which is really focused on working with people one-to-one, using the online program, using all the resources, working as well on paper if you wish to, but you lose some of the effectiveness with the coach process because of not being able to play so easily with the words and the pictures. For many people, it's the middle level of facilitator where they start, because by starting at the facilitator level, they're able to start learning the goal mapping workshop, which they can run for the public, for a school, for a business, for network marketing. There are versions for all ages, so young as well as those people that are older in the years. And as you've heard from the coaches tonight, many of them at the facilitator, at the practitioner level rather, which is the highest level of running a whole day of goal mapping and also being a trainer of other coaches joining the program. The youngest person teaching goal mapping is just 15 years old, and she's working with other people her own age, teaching it to students in schools. And the oldest person teaching goal mapping is now in her 80s. And again, she's working with people at a similar age to herself, helping people in their retirement years to set goals about things they want to do within their lifetime to help them stay active, both in mind and in emotion, and of course, physically within their body. More than 30 countries now around the world where people are certified to teach the goal mapping system. And regardless of which country you may come from, we can probably find someone to help you learn goal mapping within your own language, and also someone that has experience to help you be successful with goal mapping within the area where you wish to focus. Whether that is you have a passion to help people in education or in business or in life generally or in health and well-being or sport, we can find a coach that has already achieved something in that area and can help you achieve in the area where you would like to work. And so you've heard from some of the coaches tonight. If you're interested in the coach program for yourself, it's a fully international license for public or business or education. there's a full set of resources such as manuals and PowerPoints and videos. And of course, you have the online platform, and you're able to create your own coaching pages, as well as have your own affiliate system. So you can invite people in, they can use the system for free. And if they choose to upgrade, then you're rewarded by receiving a commission percentage for the person that's upgraded. And of course, that's ongoing for as long as the person continues to stay at the premium level of the system. You can use it both for your own personal development, as you've heard from some of the people sharing their stories tonight, as well as, of course, it being a business opportunity that you can earn an income by helping other people change their life for good. Then for me, there's no greater feeling than helping someone to achieve their goals. The added bonus for me is that I also make a profit from it. But first and foremost, it's been a life passion of wanting to help people make a difference. It's a 7-week process, a really simple journey. Some people even fast track it to reduce it down from the 7 weeks because they've got some prime opportunities that they want to be ready for and they don't want to miss. And other people want to take a break and actually expand the training out. You can join whenever you wish. The coach training is ongoing. We had 5 people join just in the last week. And if you would like to join, then you can do that immediately and get going as soon as you're ready. You have membership to the Lift Academy. It's a full money back guarantee. There is absolutely no renewal. And in addition to that, you have lifetime premium use of the online program. So you can access all of the areas. You can create 100 goal maps, and you can coach as many clients as you wish with the system, as well as using, of course, your affiliate link and other tools within the program. Over the 7-week process, 4 of the sessions are group sessions led by me and some of the other coaches you've seen here this evening, and 3 are individual sessions with a coach of your choice. So you have this combination of going in group sessions and focused one-to-one sessions with a suitable coach, either in language or in focus. And in the process, you will create 7 goal maps to map your own life. So you're getting clear about a goal map for your health and well-being, a goal map for your happiness, a goal map for your work, a goal map for financial freedom. And by having your own maps and by tweaking the maps, they become living documents. You have an authentic base of understanding so that when somebody is coming to you, a new client, asking that you will coach them to create a goal map for happiness, you can speak from your own perspective about having your own map, as well as, of course, understanding the process of how you guide them into creating their goal map. As you can see, doing this on screen share is so simple to guide a client, and it's something that we help you to learn and understand as you go through your coach training. 3 individual sessions, 4 group sessions, together helping you to create 7 goal maps, 1 in each session, and to learn the process. And then to be featured in the coach profile as Nikki Wild here, who you saw speak earlier. The coach profile is open to the internet. So it's like having your own personal micro website where you can have your affiliate link for people to join goal mapping through you, and you can share information about yourself and your work. If you're already a coach or a trainer or a therapist, then you will probably know that a comparable program to this would be £3,000 to £5,000. Or if you are someone considering a life change, that you are going to end your current career, maybe in the corporate world, and you're going to establish yourself as a business consultant, a life coach, a therapist, a trainer, a teacher, and then maybe you're shopping around looking at programs, and you will notice that some are incredibly expensive. The Certified Goal Mapping Coach program, for the 7 coaching sessions, 4 group, 3 personal, all of the resources, the lifetime use of the platform, no renewal fees, and no money to pay afterwards. I mean, just one price, it is just £999 plus VAT tax. And if you're in another country and you are tax registered, it may be that you're in a country where you do not need to pay the tax, or if you're in England and you're tax registered, you can of course claim the tax back. There are a number of bonuses that come with that special price, and these are the extra things that myself and my team feel are really important for people to be fully empowered with to help their clients. And so the thing that is very popular with so many people is teaching goal mapping to children. I found it one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. And in fact, my best-selling book is my children's book, Assan the Magic Genie, which we'll make available for free on the audio book here as part of the program. You can see here on the video me coaching my own daughter here in the living room, sat together. Here's my audio book, Assan the Magic Genie, which teaches the whole science of positive thinking, but in a really simple way through a little story. And it's become a really popular book with people of all ages, children as well as adults. In addition, the adult goal mapping workbook. So you have a full empowerment pack to help you work with younger people or work with their parents. Here in Italy, Emily, who's become quite well known in the media for her work with goal mapping with students, and she has been in a number of Italian newspapers with the focus on how she's helped students to increase their grades by teaching goal mapping in schools. And you can see them here with their goal maps. And so the student goal mapping pack is all part of the same program. Normal price would be £350, but we're adding it as a bonus. And here on the screen is the link, which will also be posted in the chat if you want to go to the goal mapping coach certification page and check out the detail. In addition to the coach training, as you've seen it, at the student goal mapping, which is part of the bonus, we also give everyone 10 gold and 15 silver upgrade codes for the online program. So if you are coaching someone in goal mapping and they want to do more than one goal mapping with you, and you want to add value to the price you're charging for your coaching, you can include one of these upgrade codes. A gold code for a year has a value of £90. A silver code for a year has a value of £42. And so you can see there is a considerable value. 10 gold codes at £90 each would be £900. And then in addition, you have another 15 silver codes at £42 each. And so those codes are yours to do whatever you wish with. Total price of those codes would be £1,530 just in the value of the codes. You can give them as a gift, you can resell them at a discounted price, or like most new coaches, you can add them as part of your coaching fee to increase the value of your coaching offer. The first materials are sent to you immediately that you join the program. There's absolutely no waiting. If you're joining tonight, we're sending you the material tomorrow, and gradually as we go through the program, more and more material is made available to you. If you're not completely happy, it's a full money back guarantee. And just to add even more value to the program, many people want to teach the life mapping system. You can see life mapping here on the screen. A great many coaches feel that life mapping is even more powerful than goal mapping. And so being certified to teach life mapping is also included in this one-off payment of £999. If we're putting it all together, we've got the upgrade codes with a value of 1,530, the family goal mapping at 359, the life mapping, which would normally be another £600. It would come to 3,487, but we just one price, £999 plus tax. Go to goalmapping.com/share. You can see there more information. If you're interested to join, please take action and follow through. You have absolutely nothing to lose. It's a full money back guarantee. You have everything to gain. We're living in this amazing time of great change. And while there may be vaccines and solutions to the COVID-19 lockdown that is so restrictive for so many people in so many countries, online learning, online training, online coaching is here to stay. With this system, you can be coaching someone in the next street, the next town, the next country, or all the way on the other side of the world. It's an investment that will help you be so effective in your coaching and to reach out to people no matter where they are, what age they are, what walk of life and path they're on. It will support you in yourself, and it will help you establish yourself as a really effective coach. And whether that's something that you're already engaged in and this is another tool in your toolbox, or whether you're starting out to create a new life for yourself by helping people change their lives. I'd love to work with you. So would the other coaches. You've seen some of them tonight. Come join us, be part of the Life Lifter community, looking to make a difference to people around the world with this incredibly simple yet amazingly powerful system for success. I thank you for joining. If you want to know more, remember the Gold Workshop coming on Monday. There'll be another one next month, the month after, each time focusing on a slightly different area of life. And each time you'll see some of the coaches invited in to share their wisdom and how they work with goal mapping. I wish you well. I look forward to working with some of you soon. Join now. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye for now.